All right, so that's the start of today's Pick 6, and it's the Joburg form. 27 race maiden. Today would have been a 28 race maiden, but he's finally got it right and strikes it the first time in the Northern Cape. Well done to Alesh Naidu. He puts his money down, and he's certainly now starting to reap the rewards. Well done to Zietsman, Bill Mareka, and of course to Nathan Klink as well. Well done, Nathan. Of course, last time I saw you had two blue eyes, and not because you were fighting, but one was a clod in Kimberley that hit you smack bang, I think on a cutting edge that you're riding a bit later on. And next time you came down after the finishing post at the Vaal. So good to see you in a picture of health. Yeah,
thanks, B. You know, it's a nice start to the new year, getting a winner here in Kimberley. And yeah, back to the race. You know, Mr. Zitz told me just to get him handy, the pace was on. You know, they went so quick. You know, he's a big, strong horse. He didn't seem to fight me. And when I picked him up, you know, at the right time, he just quickened and he sort of towards the end started to hang out.
And they were going really fast out there as we're chatting off here. They were really going flat to the boards, and you just sat quietly, bided your time, and you had an explosive turn of foot. So I must say, well handled.
Yeah, you know, I think it's going to be a nice, decent sand horse here in Kimberley, and you know, I think there's more to come from him, and we just have to hope for the best.
Nathan, before you run away, I know you guys are forced to study form back at the academy. Is there anything that you like from your side? Obviously, I'll speak to the boss just now, but what have you found for us on this Monday afternoon?
I think my next best rides are La Tigre and Cutting Edge. You know, it's quite competitive fields, but I'll just hope for the best and see where it goes. Good
to see you back in the winner's enclosure, especially in these silks, so well done.
Thank you, and just a big thanks to Mr. Zitz and the whole team, and to Mr. Alesh Naidu. Thank you.
Very well said. Well done to Nathan Klink. Well done, Zitz. Certainly a good training feat. He came to the Northern Cape with not the strongest of Joburg form, but the pace was always going to play into his hands.
Yeah, no, I suggested to him to go to the front, but there was one lunatic there in front that helped us a lot. So thank you. I don't know who it was, but he was crazy. Going flat out in Kimberley after all the horses been off for 5 weeks, going at that pace, you know. But thank you for that. So this one, the main thing in races previously, he didn't settle, he was fighting. So with this pace today, he settled nicely on the outside. You know, draw doesn't matter in Kimberley, like I said to you now before the preview. Draw 13, you know, if you can't beat the draw in Kimberley, you're not supposed to ride. You know, the draw 13, no problem. You know, brilliant ride. He was still very green, you know, running around in the straight. Well done, Naifi. Wimble, Alesh. You know, this is one of the horses he bought. What happened is we didn't go to the sale. Gabby showed us sale. And I sent Alesh a list of horses that I suggest to him what he needs to buy. And he phoned me by lot 11. He said, are you there at the sale? I said, no. He said, you must come. I bought already 2. I said, which 2? He said, he told me this one I think he bought and another one. He said, but I didn't give you this name. No, I'm going to buy a lot of horses. So when I pitched up eventually an hour and a half later at the sale, he bought 7. So, and only 1 on the list. So well done. This one wasn't on the list. The cheapie he bought, first time out winner. I think it was a decent one. You know, the maidens are poor in Kimberley at the moment. So it doesn't take a very good one to win. But, you know, I think he can go on from here. Well done, Alesh, Wimble, you know, the whole team. You know, good win. Good way to start the year. Much needed.
Zitz, 2 important questions. The first one, have you guys been affected by any rain at the farm where you're based?
Yes, it's raining. We're getting rain about 4 or 5 times a day, a week. The previous 3 weeks, this morning I spoke to another trainer. I said to him, you know, he said, you know, the guys also here is been affected by the rain a lot. Said, you know, we in the last 21 days, we only worked our horses 9 of the 21 days because of all the holidays and rain. And so we also had the minimum of work. 9 days in 21 days is not a lot of work. So, you know, a lot of horses will appreciate that, and a lot of horses are going to need it. And we'll see how the day goes, but it is a good start. And hopefully there's more today. You know, there's a few with decent chances, but I'm not going to stick my head out and say, you know, this is a really good thing. But I think there's a few that needs to be included.
Thank you very much, Seats. And I have to ask you, though. I know we're going to, you know, when we come here, we got to put your head on the block. If I'm going to take 50 Rand, okay?
Yeah.
25 Rand. I want to put 2 wins on 2 of your horses this afternoon. Which 2 of those?
You know, there's a Cutting Edge and Peter the Whaler. Cutting Edge favorite, Peter the Whaler is a 14-1 or something. I think both have a big chance. I either can win that race. But it's an open race. That the big race, Le Tigre, have 4 wins out of the last 5 races he ran. But you know, he's taking on the big boys. He didn't have this. Took on this class yet. This is a big step in class. Time to be great. You know, he can upset. He upset this exact horses he upset previously. So in the fillies race, the 1300 meter, where Celeste, Great Prosperity, La Bahia, and which is the other one? In that race, La Bahia is favorite, and Great Prosperity and Celeste is outsider. So I think, if I need to choose, I'll choose Celeste in the race. In my opinion, I think she's a decent filly. So I like her in that race, although La Bahia is favorite, you know, but anything can happen. Celeste is the first run here, also for Alesh. So there's a few of chances. Last race, Dylan's World is in the race, and a few fillies. So, you know, it's open today. It's not that I can say, you know, go big, but we'll try our best.
Thank you very much, It's great to chat. There we go. There you've heard it. I'm going to go and put 5 wins on 10 horses. Thanks very much to Zeet. I think he's certainly given us a few, and as you can hear from the stable, we need to include all of them into the rest of today's exotics. We've got Jackpot 1, Jackpot 2. Horses are walking into the parade ring for the next race. I'll chat to you in the next 15 minutes or so.
Looks happy. He now sends them back on their journey. A decent enough start. Master Kino, Sherwin's Joy. They were right up there, the first call. There's also pressure from Drop Shot, Silverstone. They spread right across the track in the early parts. Jury, Mighty Storms, 4 lengths off the leader. Then comes Mighty Gemini, Master of the Sea, Rock of Joy. The black body's about 6 lengths off the leader. Further back to